Professional softball is headed back to Central Texas this summer, but this time it's more permanent. The Texas Volts will play their home games now at the Dell Diamond in Round Rock. Joining us now is the general manager. I'm sure you recognize her, Texas Volts GM Kat Osterman, and outfielder Amanda Lorenz, one of the star players for the now Texas Volts right here based in Round Rock. This is really exciting when they released this. You guys played there last year, and the turnout was unbelievable. What's it mean now to kind of have a home base? This team is Round Rock and Central Texas team.
You know, it's a dream realized, to be honest. Round Rock has hosted professional softball for years in the past. You know, I got to play there in 2010, I think in 13 as well. And so they've hosted, and, you know, between Chris Almendarez and the Ryans, they've always had this idea of hosting a softball team and having one here. And so it's a dream realized. We're excited for them. But as you mentioned, the turnout last year was unreal. I don't think I've ever seen at least 4 consecutive days of crowds like that. And, you know, we all know I played for a really long time.
At a high level.
Yeah, so it's really cool to see because we were embraced by the Texas community. It was a place people could fly into and come see a game as well as get entertained. So it's huge. You know, personally for me, I love that we're bringing really good softball here home into Central Texas, into Austin, where, you know, it's what I call home now.
Everybody loves you around here, and I know they love softball around here too. Amanda, you've played softball at a very high level for a few years now too. What's this league mean to you? Kind of how have you liked the way it's grown over the last couple of years, and what are you looking forward to kind of have a home base here in Central Texas?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything. I mean, growing up, I didn't have the dream of playing professional softball. I had the dream of, you know, following in Kat's footsteps and playing in the Olympics, but never didn't have that real professional avenue for us. So it's just everything for little girls like how we once were, just to have that dream that their careers don't end in college, that they can actually pursue this thing and make money and make it their career.
Let's talk about that. The league is growing. You said it. The crowds were fantastic. And I think the college game has kind of elevated things. And people recognize Amanda and you and players that played in college and kind of were on the – but there was nowhere to go after that, really. Now there is somewhere to go. These teams are stacked with faces you watch at the Women's College World Series. This is kind of the foundation, isn't it, of what's going to be a long-term thing? Yeah,
it is. Athletes Unlimited has done a really good job of being able to support our athletes, to have it be professional on all levels. You know, you talk about travel, where we stay. We were just talking about it, that we have team leaders who make sure the food's, you know, healthy and good, but at the same time, like opening up a tab for them to have a coffee bar in the morning to go grab coffee and it not be something they have to stress about. But they have just done a good job, especially you look at it promotional and social media. I haven't seen a league kill it the way our content group does. And so all aspects are done correctly. And I think that's the big thing softball has missed, is there have been high-level athletes, there have been places for us to have competitive softball, but you don't have all the eyes on it because everything else that creates a professional environment hasn't been there. And Athletes Unlimited has done that. As you mentioned, we expanded this year to 6 teams, so now we have more players in. Amanda gets to compete against even more high-level teams. I get to sit upstairs and cheer, but it's fun to watch them, and it's really fun to see them have this platform now, which a lot of us, you know, we played early on to try to get it to this point.
As a fan, it's fun for me to watch because it's high level. Last summer, you guys kind of were nomadic. You traveled around. You played some in Round Rock, played some in the Northwest, played some out on the East Coast. First of all, how tough was that? And is it going to be a lot different now that you have home games and away games this season?
Yeah, I mean, Kat touched on it a little bit, but it wasn't that tough because of what a great job the AUSL did to set us up for success. Like, we weren't traveling with our equipment. They were sending it on trucks and just doing things that we've never experienced in our professional game before. So it was incredibly easy coming into markets, and everything was already set up for us. But yeah, just really excited to call this home, and then just have like a more permanent place to have fans, that we can have consistent faces and kind of making more relationships rather than just hitting all of those buckets in different places. Yeah, the fans are going to be fantastic out there. You can see some of the schedule on the screen. I love the names, by the way. It sounds like something out of an Avengers movie. You've got Spark, Blaze, Talons, Bandits, and of course the Volts right here in Central Texas. Kat, you touched on it earlier about the Dell Diamond. In my opinion, one of the most fantastic minor league parks in the entire country. Is it tough to transform a baseball field to a softball field? I know you guys did it kind of on a temporary basis last year. Now it's going to be more permanent. Is that going to be a tough thing to do, or you think it's going to be pretty easy to accomplish that?
Well, I think they figured out last year how to do it, I don't want to say easy, but efficiently. And the way minor league changed their schedule to where they're on the road for like 2 weeks at a time, it allows them to change that and not have to change it back right away. So we get to be home for a while and they get to use the field. You know, a lot of people will critique what it looks like on TV because it's a baseball field, but we're in an amazing stadium and there's nowhere else we can go and get that many fans. And so the crowd we had last year would not have been possible if we were at a softball stadium. You know, even if it was as nice as, you know, a Texas or an A&M, like you still can't get that many people in the seats because the stadium's not that big. So they do it right at Dell Diamond. You know, they've been drawing crowds for years. And so we're excited to call it home and kind of see what year one looks like. And I know they'll try to, you know, continue to improve it year after year while we're here.
Get in now. If you want to get in, this is the time to do it. We're going to talk about tickets in just a second. But Amanda, let's talk about the team itself. You obviously have a lot of experience, College World Series appearances, professional games for several years now. What do you think the team is going to look like in 2026 as you start your season at Round Rock?
Yeah, I think we're going to be competitive.
Yeah.
We have a lot of really great humans who love the game and love growing the game, but really want to win. And so I think we're hungry and excited to have some fans that fuel us too. It feels like we're really going to have such a competitive environment where they're going to make a difference in our games. So really excited to have the fans involved and help us win softball games. The
fans are really fun at softball. It's a different crowd to me, at least. I've been going to baseball games my whole life. Softball just in the last decade or so. But the excitement is different. The game feels faster. It's like everything's closer. I don't know. It's a different experience. If you haven't been, you got to get out. Kat, the season starts on the 9th. The first home games in Round Rock, June 18th through the 20th. It's still a few months away, but what do you do between now and then? How are things going to stack up as you towards the season?
Yeah, we just did our expansion and allocation draft. So, you know, the two new teams got to pick some players from our current rosters, and then we got to add, you know, some players from outside entities or some that maybe didn't play last year for different reasons. So between now and really into March, beginning of April, watch a lot of the college games. We'll do our college draft where we'll round out our rosters. And then after that, it's keeping in touch with, you know, Amanda and the rest of the team, making sure workouts are going well. If they're traveling and they're going places, you know, they have places to work out? Our head coach is Ricky Woodard, who's from here in Texas State. And so she's already opened the doors if any of them want to come down and work out. She's willing to, you know, let them use the facilities, work out with them. So it's really just making sure once we get to spring training into May that we're ready to rock and roll. And we had our first team Zoom a week ago about.
Oh, wow. That's exciting.
You know, getting everyone familiar and getting that team chemistry going because, you know, you change a couple pieces and it can change things greatly. So we're just trying to make sure we stay on the same track.
And the schedule's cool, too, because Mia Scott last year wins a championship. And then right after that is drafted and starts playing. It's like college football is all screwed up. You guys got it right. Softball, College World Series, draft, and then you start. Is that kind of how it's going to work this year, too? The timing of that is going to be just right up until the season?
Yeah, so we actually do spring training while the World Series is going on. And then if any athletes are in the World Series, they basically get enough time to go home, regroup real quick, and meet us hopefully at our first series, if not the second series. And so they roll right into it. It's a busy season for a college senior, but at the same time, rewarding because, again, the league, the team, and themselves get to piggyback off the success they just had. And that's really the best way for us to connect the college fan base with our pro fan base, too, is to let those athletes roll right into the professional realm.
How do you feel about it as a player? Now, what do you look at the next 3-4 months as you build up towards spring training in the May month time frame?
Yeah, just trying to get as strong and fast as possible. And then, just continue to train and check in with people. And, you know, we're a little bit different in that we're all scattered around the country. So just, you know, being able to connect while also getting better is a little bit of a challenge. But I think our sport has done a good job of working together and having what we have and figuring it out.
I love it. I love it. All right, I'm going to get to tickets, but I got to ask you both. Florida Gator, Texas Longhorn. I got to ask, Texas coming off the championship. Florida clearly has won many, many games. What do you think about this season? Texas Tech's number one? What the heck? How did they get to be number one when Texas just won the championship?
NIL, baby.
You know, NIL in the portal.
Is that what it is?
You bring enough people in, you get the one seed until the season starts. But I think Texas Reloaded with some freshmen that are going to have to step in and do some big things right off the bat, but I'm excited to see what they do. But I can't deny I have a couple athletes that I've coached that are over at Florida, so I can't necessarily hate on the Gators.
They played some close ones in Oklahoma City last year. What do you think the Gators are? Are they going to get a little revenge, you think, this year?
I hope so. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm always the most biased Florida softball fan of all time, so they're my number one team in the country, that's for sure.
I like it. Has softball ever been better? Are we at the beginning of a really crescendo here for softball?
I think so. You know, in women's sports in general is on the rise, right? Eyes are turning to it, media's covering it, and I think that you've seen it go across the board. But for softball specifically, there are athletes now that even if you're not a diehard softball fan, you know who they are at the end of the day, and so that's really cool to see. And the college game has really taken off competitively around the country. The parity it's there now.
It's lovely. It's fun to watch. It's exciting. Okay, this is exciting too. You can get in right now. You can be one of the original season ticket holders for the Texas Volts at the Dell Diamond. And how do people find out about ticket information?
Yeah, you can go to theausl.com and you can see the schedule. You can buy season tickets. Single game tickets will go on sale once all the TV deals and stuff are done, so you know game times. But season tickets are on sale already. I know as soon as we announced cities, they were flying off the shelves in some places. So come on, Central Texas, buy them up and let's see you out there.
I bet they pack it out. They're going to pack it out.
Yeah, they better. We're calling you guys out.
Come on. If you want to see some exciting softball, we got Amanda, as you mentioned, Mia. We got plenty of the big names that you've recognized over the years.
I can't wait. I've already been on the website looking at tickets myself. Thank you guys so much for being here. I wish you the most success possible in your first year in Round Rock. Maybe a championship. I don't know.
That's
Hey,
the
why
plan,
not?
right?
That's the goal, right?
Let's bring it.
Thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks
we
for
really
having us.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
Best of luck.
Go Bolts.